This is the Crush Crowdfunding Podcast, the #1 place for people who want to launch on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. My name is Nalin, and I invite you to join me for tips, hacks, and insights to get you launched and fully funded. Hey everyone, welcome to another session of the Crush Crowdfunding Podcast. I'm really excited to have you here today and to really talk to you about crowdfunding and how you can absolutely crush your goal on Kickstarter and absolutely crush your goal on Indiegogo. Oftentimes people come to me with a crowdfunding campaign and they say, hey, Nalin, I have a lot of people following me on Twitter. I have a lot of people following me on Instagram. I have a lot of people who are my friends on Facebook, and I have a big Facebook page presence. And, you know, a lot of the time they think that that translates into actual backers on crowdfunding. However, truth be told, you can actually get funded on crowdfunding on Kickstarter and Indiegogo without a big social media following. Really, you really can. Like, the big social media following is kind of like the cherry on top of that ice cream sundae, but you really don't need that in order to get fully funded for your idea, for your passion project. So if that's the case, you know, what do you do? A lot of people ask me this, like, what do I do? Wait, why don't I need a big social media following? Or how can I get fully funded without a social media following? Everyone thinks that, hey, they want to be exactly like one of the Kardashians and have a huge following on Instagram and translate that into sales for a new cosmetic line, right? But actually, that's not what happens with crowdfunding. That's actually not how to bring backers to your crowdfunding campaign and actually have them pledge into dollars. So what do you do? Right? If you don't have a social media following, but you can still get funded, what do you do? How is it that anyone is going to actually accomplish this and pull it off if they don't have a big social media following? So yeah, I've had a lot of people come to me and let me know that they've gone through the preparation phase. They have thousands of followers on Instagram, thousands of people who like them on Facebook or Twitter. And then they go and launch their campaign and they come back and they say, hey, why isn't this working, Nalin? I did everything right. I thought I did everything right. You know, I built up my social following. Why is that it's not working? Why am I not getting funding to my campaign? My Instagram isn't converting. I have like 5,000 people on there, but no one from there is backing on Kickstarter. You know, people I have on Facebook aren't backing. Twitter is just silent now that I've launched my campaign. You know, this is a really big issue for people, and it's really frustrating, you know, because you spend so much time building up a social media following, and then you realize that it's actually not converting into backers, into buyers, into customers, into dollars, into funding for your idea. So why isn't it working? I've recorded this a while earlier too, that social media is not a sales channel, right? It really isn't. You can go back and listen to that episode 2. I think it's episode 2 of the podcast, that social media is not a sales channel. It's true. Social media is amazing for sharing content, for sharing videos, for sharing photos, for sharing updates. And a certain number of people see that update. A certain number will engage with it. And even some of those people might even click the link to the actual thing that you're mentioning and talking about. But really, when it comes to it, if you have a Kickstarter campaign or an Indiegogo campaign, social media will comprise a small percentage of people who actually end up backing that campaign. What I've realized is that, again, social media is not a sales channel. It's not where most of the transactions happen when it comes to people supporting and buying into your project. So that begs the question, what is the thing that drives funding if it isn't social media? And if you go back to listen to episode 2, we talk about why the answer is emails, right? Why the answer is emails and how to actually capture those emails. I go through the 3-step process to actually get those emails and build that list and actually drive people to your campaign when you launch so that you actually do get that funding. Instead of rehashing that same exact 3-step process again, I wanted to focus some more about that importance for emails and how you can actually use your emails to really achieve your goals with your launch. The main important that emails are so important is because it's traffic that you actually own. It's traffic that you have at your disposal that have indicated that they're interested in you, indicated that they're interested in your product, indicated that they're interested in whatever it is that you're building, right? There's So with that said, I want to distinguish between two things. There's traffic that is out there, traffic that other people own, right? And there's also traffic that you own. The difference between the two is really, really critical for your launch and for everything else that you do for your product and for building your business in the long run. For example, let's use Facebook as an example. Right now, there's millions or billions of people actually on Facebook. They're registered to use Facebook as a platform to network with other people, to make new friends, to actually keep in touch with old friends. And in order for you to access that list, what do? It's a list that Facebook owns, right? Because they have the information of the people. They have all whatever backend data they have on each one of us that has a Facebook account. So what do if you want to actually access the information of people who are on Facebook? You have to pay for it. You pay for access to these people through advertising. You see this through people using Facebook Business Manager, Facebook advertising accounts, Instagram advertising accounts. And you can see that Facebook is essentially monetizing each and every one of us by saying that, hey, if you press like on this cooking page, anyone who wants to target people who like cooking or like food or like making food at home can use that as a filter for their advertising and send that exact advertising about cooking, about making things at home, about DIY recipes, all through the Facebook platform itself. So as a person, an entrepreneur who's looking to find an audience for your own project, you can actually pay for these audiences. You can pay Facebook to send information to your audience about your product, right? You can just pay for it. And that is kind of the difference between traffic that other people have or other people's traffic and the traffic that you own. And here, emails are so important because it is traffic that you own. If you have someone's email, if you have someone's information, if you have someone's contact, that you can essentially contact them at any time you want. You don't have to go to Facebook and pay to get in touch with them through sending out an advertising. No, you don't have to do that at all. You actually can just go to whatever email platform you have. Maybe you just have a spreadsheet of people's names and email addresses, right? And you could just send them a direct email that says, hey, my product is launching. Do you want to come and back it? However, if it's on Facebook, again, it's other people's traffic. You have to pay to get access to that. But if it's an email, you have people's data and then you can actually just send out the information to them directly without having to use something like Facebook and paying for that intermediary step to get to people. That's why it's so important to start building emails and collecting emails very early on, because you want to make sure that you have information about the people who you're talking to, your audience. You don't want to always perpetually be spending money and leveraging other people's traffic. No, you want to as quickly as possible at least, make that information, make that traffic, make that audience member that's out there in the wild become your audience member and your traffic and your email information as much as, as fast as possible, because in the long run, it saves you money. What does this mean in the long run, right? Think about it this way. Once you launch your product on Kickstarter, or Indiegogo, think about it this way. Once you launch your product on Kickstarter or Indiegogo, what you can do is literally send out a message to everyone who has expressed interest in your product and in your brand, in your journey, all at once without having to pay a single cent to a company like Facebook, a company like Google, any one of those where they have traffic and you're trying to buy eyes and attention to your campaign, right? Once you have this traffic in your own email list, you can send a message to them at any time. You can send them, oh, hey, my product's launching, or like 3 hours later, send another email, all completely free just because you have that information already. And think about in the future too, if you're trying to launch a new product, a second product, or a third or a fourth or a fifth product, if you have their information already from the get-go, from the beginning, if they've been around since the launch of your first product and you're now launching your fifth product and you're building your company and you're expanding your product line and you're already building up your own business empire, What you have is this information for people that you can outreach to right away with this new product that you have. There's no need to go anymore outside to pay other people for traffic and interest for your new product. These people have already said, hey, I like your first product. Hey, I like you. Or hey, I like your company and I want to support you and keep being there in your journey. And hey, if you're launching a fifth product, yeah, of course I'd love to know about it. And that's the thing. If you're able to just outreach to them and talk to them and send them a message without having to do anything else. With an email list, what you can do is really get deep into the psyche of your own audience too. The first thing you can do is send out an email and just ask like, hey, I have this product that's launching on Kickstarter or launching on Indiegogo, and you said you're interested. Is there something that you are really interested in? What kind of problems do you hope that this product will solve? Is there anything else that I could do to make this product even better for you? This alone, just by asking these questions to a list that you own, again, you can ask this multiple times too. You can continue to hone your product so that it gets better and better and better. And you can continue to iterate and iterate and iterate until you have a product that is very essentially perfect for the audience that you're building. Not only that, but moving forward, assuming that in the future you've already finished launching your product, it's becoming successful, and you actually have backers and have people who have paid money to make this thing come to life, and you're looking to create a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth product down the line to build up your different kind of product offerings for your business. What you can do is just ask like, hey, you liked product 1. What do you think about this for product 2? Or what do you think about a feature A versus feature B for product 2? What do you think about beta testing product 2? What do you think about being in like an early brainstorm group for product 2? What do you think about taking product 2 for a spin so that we know exactly what you like, what you don't like, and you can tell us and you can help create a really good new product 2. Another thing you could even do with this list of people who have already indicated that they're interested in your product and your company and your business and you as an entrepreneur is you can even ask like, hey, do you want to be an ambassador for our product? Do you want to be an ambassador for our brand? Do you want to be someone who literally goes out and just talks about how much you like the brand and will reward you for this? Do you want to be someone who we feature on our homepage for being a super user of the product? Another thing you can do is ask for reviews. Once you have this product, once you have videos of it, once you have people actually using the product in the future, you can just email your list, this list that you own. You can email them for completely free and ask, hey, what do you think about this product? Can we get a testimonial from you about you using the product, how it's helped you in your life or how it's made changes in the way that you experience the world? Is it something that you can do, right? So owning that email list, you can talk to your people, talk to your fans, talk to your audience at any time of the day at all without having to pay someone else to send the message out for you. If you have this information, if you have people on your list, you can communicate and do so much with them in the pre-launch process, in the post-launch process, in the process of gearing up to a completely new launch for a different product under the same brand. Another thing you can do is also include people into something like a referral program where if they like the product, they love the product, they can just be rewarded for telling people about your product, right? Some people just are okay just saying a testimonial and leaving a testimonial, leaving a review, but some people are such super fans that they are going to shove your product into people's face and they're going to love it. They're going to buy it because they trust their friends and family. And so there are people like this in your email list. As long as you do take the time to build that email list of individuals that really, really actually want your product, love your product, and care about your product, right? I'm talking really about building an email list and the importance of it, right? The importance of actually building an email list, because in the end, emails are like gold dust on the internet. It's literally just like gold dust. Back then, everyone was kind of crazy about the gold rush. Everyone started moving out west from the eastern side of North America. They started, traveling out west because they heard about just rivers of gold, right? They were just going out and panning for gold and trying to find just little specks and dusts of gold so that they could make profit, make money, make a living. And let's be honest here, with emails, it's kind of like gold dust. Because one, it's not that easy to get people's emails. It's not that easy to find the right places to actually get those emails. You have to actually go out, find the right place where your audience is talking, and actually do the work to get those emails into your list so that you own that traffic. So it's not other people's traffic, right? So that you actually own that traffic. And then you can take and do whatever you want with that email, because they've indicated to you that they're very interested in learning more about what you have to say. And so you can go and say whatever you need to say to convince them that your product is worthy, that you are a product and a project and an entrepreneur that is worth following and worth backing and worth contributing funds to. And that's your job as an entrepreneur now, to make sure that your people, the people who are following you, the people who have opted into your email list, the people who have started to agree to become your audience, it's your job to make sure that they convert. But at the end of the day, I really wanted to tell you that email is king. Email is the number one way that people make decisions when it comes to buying and backing and supporting campaigns, when it comes to Kickstarter, when it comes to Indiegogo. So if you're going and you're gearing up to a launch, if you're going and you're trying to figure out where to put all your energy to prepare for a campaign, rather than focusing on something like social media or focusing on just anything else, you should actually be focusing on emails. How do I go out there to find the right people who are interested in my project, interested in my idea enough that they will give me their email for me to contact them on launch day, when I am allowing people to actually purchase, pre-order my product on this crowdfunding platform? Who are these people? Where can I find them? Where can I collect this information? Because by having them give you their email, they're letting you into their lives, right? Emails aren't easy to come by. Emails aren't easy to get a hold of for people. And once people do let you in, once people do give you their email, you're free to communicate with them. You're free to talk to them. You're free to really just tell them your thoughts, your hopes, your fears, your dreams with this product that you're building, because they've told you that they want to follow you. They've told you they want to listen to you. They've told you that they want to follow along so that they can even potentially back you when you launch your campaign. So when you're going out there and trying to figure out the best thing you can do to make an impact for your crowdfunding campaign when you launch, think emails. Think emails any day. So thank you for being with me here today. If you need a crowdfunding expert, feel free to get in touch. You can get started by heading to crushcrowdfunding.com. Lastly, I would be really grateful if you could leave a review for the podcast, because it will really help others who want to learn about crowdfunding just more easily find out about the podcast. Thank you so much for being here with me, and for subscribing to the podcast, and for continuing to listen and just being here with me to go on this journey to crowdfund your product and your idea. I will see you guys in the next session. Thanks for listening to the Crush Crowdfunding podcast at crushcrowdfunding.com. Tune in the same time next week for more ways to crush your launch.